Hi stamping friends, welcome back. Sandi MacIver here. Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm sharing a new card created with the Altenew wonderful Wreath stencil, and it's one of those 10 minutes to wow cards. My art piece is a Neenah Solar White 110 pound cardstock. I've cut it at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm using some post-it note tape to hold my stencil down. I've left my stencil dirty on purpose so that you could see it. It's really hard to see without any ink on it. And today I'm also playing with some Altenew inks: Evergreen, Hunter Green, Bamboo, and Razzleberry. I'm going to start with Bamboo, which is the lightest one, and I'm using some of the blending brushes and the smaller ones because it helps to get into the little holes, and I'm going to be putting just a tiny little bit of ink into a few spots. So I'm going in a circular motion, picking up the ink and moving it around. I'm not really worrying about it too much because there's going to be 2 layers, so if it is a little bit uneven in spots, that's okay. I think it just kind of adds to the texture and the color of the wreath. Now I'm picking up the wreath and I'm turning it about a 1/4 turn, making sure that none of my leaves are lined up. I want as much white space as possible showing and trying not to overlap any of my previous leaves. And now I'm working with Hunter Green, which is the middle of the greens. And again, not worrying about things being too even, just getting some color in there onto those leaves. And as I get around and I finish with this, I'm going to switch over to a really thin, small brush and the color Evergreen, and that's the darkest. And you're going to see that I am just going to take a little bit and I'm going to put it at the base of the darker leaves. I'm going to leave the light green ones alone, but just at the base of the darker ones. And you'll really be surprised how much depth this gives your wreath just by taking a couple of secs and doing this last little step here. And so I'm just finishing up with that, and then I'm going to switch to my round brush. And to get all these brushes, you need the big set of the brushes, okay? And so there's berry circles in the middle of this stencil, and I'm going to use Razzleberry, also from Altenew, and this little round brush. And every couple inches, I'm going to add these 3 little berries. And again, I'm looking for white space because I don't want to overlap those dark green leaves too much, because then you won't be able to see my pretty razzleberry berries. And I pick the stencil up a few times and just work my way around, making sure that I'm kind of even all the way around. Just got a couple more to do here. And if you go over the light green leaves, they seem to show up not too bad. It's those darker ones that you won't really see the pink too well. So there we go. Now I've got an acrylic handle sitting here. I'm just going to transfer some ink from the ink pad. I'm going to give it a little spritz of water and then pick it up with a paintbrush and just do some splattering across the front of it. I think that just adds a little bit of artistic license to the wreath. For the sentiments, I'm using the Simon Says Stamps Inside Christmas Greetings, and I'm grabbing that heart and cheer one right in the middle here. Now, see if you figure out what I do wrong right here. This is so funny. I've been stamping for over 30 years, and I can't tell you the last time I did this. I'm using my MISTI in case I need to stamp it twice, so I'm making sure I keep everything kind of neat and tidy, and there we go. I stamped it upside down. Now, here's a really good reason not to put your card front onto your card base until you've stamped your sentiment, because, hey, I can still turn that around. One of the reasons I use the 110 pound cardstock is it goes through the mail really well, so I don't need to completely back it with the foam. I can just do some strips down each side and the center and mount it onto the card front. And there we go, the cards are finished. And I wanted to let you know that the stamp set that I was using today also has some wonderful sentiments for the inside of the cards, so you could just pop it back into your MISTI and add a sentiment on the inside. Make sure you stamp it right ways up. And there's a supply list for everything I used today underneath this video, as well as a link to my blog for a free PDF. And if you enjoyed today's project, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that very much. And until next time, toodles!